Now that we have added all the resource materials with respect to this particular course, the last step before publishing this course is establishing the course settings. In order to do that, let's navigate to the LMS module, open the course that we have already created, and you'll be redirected to this page. Click on the three dotted lines, click on settings. So these are all the various course settings that we are going to add before publishing this information to your employees. So the first option is basics. So where you can modify the name, you can add a category to this particular course, which is nothing but it's like placing a file in a particular folder. You can also add multiple categories to this specific course. And you can also enter the duration. This will help your learners to understand the number of days or hours they will have to dedicate to complete this course. You can also mention a unique course code, basically a short form to address this course. Write a description if you want. Once this is done, click on Save. The next setting is about learning objectives. So you're going to define prerequisite skills and then you're going to add skills that you will get. So let's take this example. The prerequisite skill is set to Java level 2, which means that an employee has Java level 2 will be able to enroll to this course. And once the employee completes the course, their skill level in Java will get upgraded to 4. And one important note here is the prerequisite skill that you add here is not a must-have functionality. It is just a nice-to-have option, which means that even if an employee does not have a skill set called Java, they will still be able to enroll to this course based on the applicability that we are going to define. In case if they already have a skill set called Java, this option will happen, that is, their skill will get upgraded to level 4. And the options that you see in this drop down is nothing but the skill sets that you have already defined in the performance management system in Zoho People. Once this is done, you can click on Save. The next setting is about creating batch. When you're creating a blended learning course, you would have already created one batch. But this is an option where you can create multiple batches. And the next option is about defining applicable to. So this is where you're going to define in the system who are all the employees who are eligible to join this particular course. When it comes to defining this applicability, there is one option to choose from, that is course access. Imagine that you're going to include this course in a learning plan and you don't want your employees to take up this course individually, which means that if they want to take part in this course, they will have to enroll to a learning plan. If that is a condition, you can go with this option called through learning plan. That is, no one can take this course individually. They will have to enroll to a learning plan. If you go with the option through learning plan, there is no need to set an applicable condition for a course because you can set up this condition when you're adding a learning plan. However, if you go with the option access anywhere, you're going to set up an applicable condition because in this case, an employee can either take this course individually or the employee can take part in the learning plan. So you can add different rules and in each rule you can have different conditions. So in one rule, if you're adding multiple conditions, it will be operating based on and, that is, the employee has to be mapped to the location called Mumbai and the employee has to be mapped to the department called sales. You can also add multiple rules. If you're adding multiple rules, they will operate based on or condition. So once this is set, click on Save. The next setting is about branding. It is just about the look and feel about this course. You can change the background image for this course along with the background color and pattern. There is an option for you to upload an introductory file. This is not an actual resource material for this course, just an introductory file that will help your learners to understand what this course is about. Once everything is set, click on Save. Let's move on to the next setting, which is called permission. So here you are going to establish permission on who can enroll to a course and who can unenroll to a course. So let's enable the option where manager can enroll a particular user to a course and the learner does not have the option. So what happens here is, whenever a learner is trying to enroll to a course, it will trigger an approval to the reporting manager. And only after getting approval from the reporting manager, the user will be able to take part in the course. But if permission is given to a learner, they don't need to take approval from the manager. They can directly enroll to a particular course. The same condition is applicable to unenroll. The user is already a part of a particular course. Now the user wants to unenroll from the course. In that case, do you give option to employee to directly do this action, or should they take permission from the reporting manager? And the next permission is about completion. When a file or a link is to be considered to be complete, or when a course is marked as complete, and when a module is to be marked as complete. So you do have different options to choose from with respect to completion status. Once all the permission is set, click on Save. The next setting is about reminders. There are 3 different reminders that you can have: batch, session, and feedback. So whenever a batch starts, you can trigger 3 different reminders to your applicable employees. And then you have session reminders. So you can send a reminder to all of your learners before the session start time, and you can have up to 3 reminders. And finally, we have feedback. So the option to provide feedback about a course or about a trainer will be available to your employees after completing the course. And you can send reminders to your employees to provide this feedback. And you can add up to a maximum of 3 reminders. And the next setting is about grade. So what type of grade that you would like to have for this particular course? There are different options for you to choose from. Click on Save, and next we have certificates. So once an employee completes taking up the course, they can download a course completion certificate. And this is a place where you can create your certification template. So let's create a new template. Click on Create Certificate. You can select with any one of the predefined certificate templates available here. You cannot import your own certificate template that you have. So let's choose this template, and then you can customize it. For example, you can upload your company logo here, and you can also insert dynamic field names. That is, you can say this certificate is awarded to, you can add the employee name. So click on the drop down here, select username. And you can also change all the text that you see in this certificate. You can change the text. So you can select one template and then you can make changes according to your preference. Once this is done, click on Proceed. So the final step is to publish your certificate. And an employee will have an option to download this certificate only after completing this course and not before that. The next setting is about pre-learning and post-learning activity. So pre-learning activity is an online test that an employee can take before starting the course. And post-learning activity is an online test that an employee can take after completing the course. You can also make these activities to be mandatory. And creating a pre-learning activity and a post-learning activity is same as that of creating an online test. And the next step is setting up manager's evaluation. Now the employee has completed the course, downloaded the certificate, and even completed the post-learning activity, if any. Now it's time for the managers to evaluate the employee's performance based on this particular course. However, it is not mandatory for you to have manager's evaluation. If that is the case, go with the option No Evaluation, or you can choose between 2 different options here, Score or Rubrics. Let's first explore the first option, Score. So here you can define when manager should have an option to do the evaluation. So is it immediately after the employee completes the course, or let's say 2 days after completion? You can also enter the maximum marks so that a manager will have an option to rate an employee with a total score of 100. And you can also have some tags associated to this final score, which is nothing but if manager is giving a score between 0 to 30, a tag called needs improvement will be associated to the employee for this particular course. You can delete this tag, you can create a new one, or you can even rename this tag. And once the results are provided by the manager, you can choose to show these results to your learner, or you can hide it from your learners. So this is the one option called score. The next option is called rubrics. So you don't want managers to simply add a number. So you don't want them to give a score of 80 or 90. You want managers to evaluate this employee against a specific criteria. If that is the case, you can go with the option called rubrics. So again, you can mention when manager can do the evaluation. Once that is done, click on this option, add rubrics. You will be redirected to this page where you can enter criteria. So you can add a specific criteria here. For example, let's say, so you're going to add a score to this employee based on a criteria called problem solving skills. So if the employee belongs to level 1, he will be awarded 1 point. So in this way, instead of letting the manager to directly enter a score, you can provide them with specific criteria against which they can evaluate an employee. Once this is done, you can click on Save. So this is about an option called rubrics evaluation. Click on the Save option. Now we are done with manager's evaluation. And then we have feedback. So an employee can provide feedback about a course and about a trainer. So usually they are going to give a star rating against a course or against a trainer. Instead of getting star rating from your employees, you can ask your employees to answer against specific questions as a part of feedback. Those questions can be created over here. You can click on Select Template. You can create a new one, or you can choose from existing templates that you have already created. If you want to make feedback as a mandatory option, make it as mandatory. And then we have cost. So what are the different types of expenses the organization has invested for organizing this training? So you can click on Add Expense. You can mention the currency, and you can also choose whether you're going to display this information to your learners. If not, disable this option. There are different expense categories. For example, the expense that you have spent for content. So you can mention it's going to be 50 USD. And you can click on Add. And for trainer, you mention 100 USD. So total, your organization has spent 150 USD for organizing this specific training. So this is about adding expenses. And then we have course admin, which is the last option. So you can add a particular user to be a course admin. For example, let's try to add one. Select a particular user and you can give permission. So what type of access this course admin should have for this particular course? You can say this person should have access to all modules, sessions, files, but not to members. So you don't want the course admin to add new members. So you have an option to define what type of access this course admin should have. Once this is done, you can click on Add. You can have more than one course admin for a particular course. So once you're done with all these settings, now you're good to go to publish this course to your employees. So we can go back. You can click on this button, Publish this batch. Click on Yes. Now all the applicable members would have received an email notification, and based on the enroll permission they have, the learner can directly enroll to this course, or they can take permission from the reporting manager to enroll to this course. So these are all the different course settings that we have as a part of a blended learning course in the LMS module.